welcome to my channel and welcome to my website. My name is Daryl and this is Programming in Any Language. The website is www.black-duck.com. It's where you'll find all my videos organized in logical order. Working with files and arrays doesn't seem all that bad right now. What I want to do now, however, is break the program we did in the last video. Once we've seen how it can be broken, we will put in the pieces to protect it from breaking. There are two things to consider here. We are working with files, with a file basically, so things can go wrong with a file. File not found, file corrupted, file in use. Those are just a few of the things that could happen when you are working with a file. The second thing to consider is the array itself. It is set up to be a certain size. We can't put more items into it than what we have allotted. Also, when you use a pointer to travel through the array, that pointer needs to be a positive number greater than or equal to 0, and it can't be larger than the size of the array less 1. In other words, for an array of 100 elements, any pointer needs to be 0 or greater without going above 99. This video will show you how to set all this up. Okay, here's the little program we built last video. Not a real little program, but a program which kind of shows files and arrays. And let's break it. Let's go ahead and make this thing crash, and then I can show you how to actually protect it from crashing. A couple things we want to take a look at. Let's go into first of all, let's go ahead into our file where we actually have this thing stored. And I have another one someplace here, another file. As you remember, we have the sandbox is sitting right here. I think it's called Files and Arrays. It is. Go into the debug folder, find our bin. And there's our debug folder, and here's our my guys thing right here. We can look at that thing, and if we open it up, it looks like this. Okay, I'm going to replace this with another one. And so I've got another folder. I'm going to go ahead and find that folder and bring it up. We're going to take this guy, and let's delete him. It's gone. I'm going to bring another version of him over here. And I'm going to rename this guy by putting a big X after the name. So my guy is x.text. There, that's in place. What does it look like? I just want to show you what it looks like right now. It's very large. It's got a whole bunch of Warner Brothers cartoon characters in here. They had something like 42. I don't think I took that many, but it's certainly a range here. We're going to change the array size a little bit and see how that works as well. Let's get rid of this. I don't want to save this. I don't want to save this. I want this one. Okay, so we've got this in place here. So it's there. So we're going to put this off to the side for a bit. We can always bring him up later. And I'm going to take this folder and move him off to the side. And we're going to go into this code. Okay, I've got my program sitting right here, and I've got my button load. What I want to do is I want to go ahead and set this thing up so that it catches an error. We know it's going to blow up if we end up running my guys, the input file, because we know that it's my guys.text. So we know it's really an X that we've got out there. So I run this thing right now and try to do it. The program comes up, displays 100, we do a load, and bang, we get an error. Exception not handled right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of the debug on this thing, stop debugging. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put in this section right here, I'm going to do a try, and I'm going to say try, put in my braces, and pop it in there. After my try, I'm going to do a catch, and it's going to be exception EX, and it too is going to have braces. If something goes wrong, I want a message box to appear, so I'm going to just simply say here, display error message, and then I'm going to say message box dot show, and I'm going to say ex.message. When I'm working with files, and I've said this before in other videos, you don't know what the error is going to be. It could be a file not found, it could be a problem with somebody unplugged your disk drive in the middle of it, whatever. Something happened, and the ex.message will allow the system to go ahead and give us an error message. Now what's going to go in the try piece? What's going to go there is everything I had before, all of this stuff, which actually is doing the actual read. So I'll do a Control X on this and place it up in here. That puts it all in place. I now can go ahead and get myself set up, and I'm going to do a file save on all this, save all. And we're going to run this program again. And again, it's my guy's x.txt out there, so it's not going to find this guy right here. So let's run it. Program goes up, defines my array to be 100. Everything else looks the same. We'll do a load. This time I get an EX message. Why EX message? Oh, because I've got quotes around it. My mistake. Let's get rid of the quotes. That's why we're having an X underscore on this thing right here. I need to actually get rid of the quotes because this is an actual message the system's going to put out. So let's do that. File save all. Run. I'm so used to putting in my own messages and putting a quote around them. Again, load it. This time we get it. Could not find the file. It gives me the path and where it all is, and what's going to go happening, and my guys.txt, what it's looking for. So it's telling the user that's looking for something decent here, so something proper. So my guys.txt, oh, okay, I know I can fix this thing. I can close my program. I can go ahead and bring my folder over. And let's take this X out of here. And now it's just my guys. So we change the name to that to my guys.txt. So pop it back up here. And we'll run the program again. Do a start. Up it comes. It set up the array element to be 100. We do a load. 36 actual elements came into the process on here. We do a fill, and there they all are. Daffy and a whole bunch of other guys pop in here, all the way down here. And we actually have to end a file down in the bottom of this thing because we have 100. So it added 36 elements to here, and worked fine. And that end of file piece that I put in the initialization section, which last time, is still there, and that seems to work just fine. So great. That's how you fix a program that might encounter an error in the file. You always want to put that try catch in there. I didn't do it in the last program because we wanted to looking at arrays and just want to keep the simplicity down as to how you actually process an array and how you process a file using a loop to populate that array. And we took care to make sure it didn't blow up. Now, we've got another piece here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change my array size to 25. We're going to use a smaller array. And down here, I'm going to actually say end of file in 24, which would be the last area inside the array section itself. And I'm going to actually comment this piece out, the while piece. I'm actually going to make a copy of it and back it up a little bit, and then I'm going to comment out that first one. Oops. And we're going to get rid of the max part. We're just going to say while not into file. So all we're going to check is the not into file piece. We're not going to care about the array. We're just going to read the array and go ahead. I mentioned this in the last video that you do want to be able to check for how big your array is. You have to watch out for the bounds of your array when you get there. Let's take a look at this and actually run it and see what happens. I'm going to do a file save here. Save all. We'll do a start. Our program comes up and shows us that we have 25 elements in the array. We have holes for 20 spots, shelves, whatever you want to call them, for 25 elements. When I go to that load of that file, it actually has 36 elements in it. We'll do a load here, and what happens, index is outside the bounds of the array. It actually errored out on us. So what happened is this thing actually took care of it for us. Without the try, we wouldn't have had this happen. We would have had something like this happen. Let's do a comment on this and comment out the catch piece. We actually want to get rid of this, 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 and this, and run it again. File save all. This time we don't have any try catch in there, and without that piece of looking for the size of the array, it's going to look like it's going to run again just fine. 25 elements. Do a load, and this time we end up blowing up, and we get a system index out of range exception. So index is outside the bounds of the array. It's telling us that. And stopping here at x plus 1, we could even interrogate and see what it is. Oh, x is 25. Oh, that's interesting. We've gotten to the range where it's too big. We should only going through 24 on this thing. So we have too many items we're actually reading here. So to handle this exception, let's go ahead and stop the debugging on this. We can do a couple of things. One of them is the try catch is going to help us there. So we're just by putting this thing in, it's finding any particular error you might have. And in this case, the try catch with the EX message is telling us the index is outside the bounds of the array. So it picked that up. The EX message picked that up and told us that's why it failed. That's why the try didn't work in that particular paragraph that I was testing. So I can't do anything about this. Maybe I can do this. I can do this because it didn't get everything. So it told me that everything wasn't there. But it did bring everything in that it could, filling the array. We don't have the actual number of elements there because it never finished that little process there. So what else can we do? One of the things we can do is if we replace this now, if we go ahead and remove this end of stream, instead of checking for end of stream, we'll also check for the array max piece here. So I'll just unblock this guy out and get rid of this thing entirely. And now what we're doing in our array, we're actually looking at while x is less than max and input file is not in the stream, go ahead and process this. If either one of these fails, it'll stop nicely. So let's look at it this way now. We don't have the, we still have the try catches in there, but now we're actually testing for being less than max. And x being, because we're going to increment x. As long as x is less than 25, we're going to continue. If it gets to be more than 25, it's going to stop. It's going to end the program. We won't get an error. We'll actually it'll actually run. So let's take a look at this. If we load it now, it actually finishes and gives us 25 elements in there. It didn't give us 36, but it gives 25 and filled it. And we protected the array from the program from actually breaking by testing for the number of elements that was coming into the array itself. Once we reach 25, we stop processing the file. Well, it'd be nice to know that, you know, because we don't know. Okay, I got 24 records. Maybe that's all there was in the file. We don't have no idea on that. So it might be nice to go ahead and let's go ahead and fill it. We can see here we filled the 25, and that's it here. We'll go ahead and exit this. What you might do in something like this is, remember we put this little piece here, my guy's 24 end of file? That wasn't showing anymore. That was actually gone because it got overwritten by the last element in the array. What we can do now is, if it's not there, we know we have a problem. So what we could do is we could look where we close off our file. Here is where it actually is closed. And in here, right on the bottom here, I could say something like if my guy's 24, in other words, that last element, is equal to the words end of file, braces in there, I could say message box dot show file processed successfully. Put a little exclamation point on the back of that thing. And I could put down here, I could say else message box dot show file size. Yeah, file is larger, file larger than array size, and put an exclamation on there. So now if we go ahead and save it, we can run this. It's going to successfully read the array. It won't bounce out. We'll start it. It gives us an array of 25. We'll do a load. It gives us 25 here, but it says the file size is larger than the array size. It didn't crash, but it told us we didn't get everybody. You know, you got 25, but that's all your program's allowing. So at least the user now knows that, oh, okay, my file's too big. I got this stuff in here, and there we are. But I can now end this thing and go ahead and fill it, and everything works. Although you can see that the end of file piece is not there. What do I do now? Well, now I know my array is too small. I need to go in here and go actually make a change to it. So what I'll do is I'll change my array back to 99. I'll change this to, I'm sorry, this would be 99. This is going to be 100, 0 through 99. And now my array size is proper here. Save all. Start. my array is back to 100. I'll do my load. This time I got 36 elements. Oh, I still got a file larger than array size. That's interesting. Oh, why is it that? Let's find out. Oh, because there's no piece in here. The end of file is not actually sitting here. It's not the initialize. Actually, does that really? Let's check this out. Oh, I know why. My checking here. My checking here is 24. I need to change that to a 99 as well. A lot of little pieces you got to look for when you actually do this. Change that to a 99. Do a file save all. Now do a run. I always want to test, test, test. So you can find these subtle little errors that you didn't expect coming up. I'll do my load again. 36 came in. File processed successfully. Good to know. Let's do a fill. Do a close on this thing. Let's do a fill. We got all the things in the file. And look, we're going to go all the way down, and there's our end of file piece right down there in the bottom of that. So it's all there when you actually do that. Might be kind of interesting to see this actually happen in if you were actually processing this thing. We'll go ahead and put a breakpoint in here and run it again. And we'll bring our watch properties down here. And we'll go ahead and actually go, we stop right now, so I hit my F11 key to bring in that file. Yeah, missing this piece right here. I want to do a load. So I'll do my load. Bang, it goes in there. There, it's just stepping through now. It reads the file. XX, we're starting to bring things in, and we're starting to process this array. Max, what is max? Max is 100, as you can see. What's our X value? It's a 3, and as you can see, I'll step through this thing. That keeps increasing to 4, 5, 6. We can actually look at the array and step down here, and you can see we've got bugs, Daffy, Bugs, Porky, Petunia, Sylvester, Yosemite already in there, and the other pieces are all there. We can go all the way down. You can see there's nulls in these things, so that has been established in this particular array, so we can actually see that go. We can go forward like this and keep on going. I'm going to go ahead and set another breakpoint here. Now I can use F5, which will step me through all this till it gets to the next breakpoint. So F5 is to continue. It gets down to here. Our array now looks like this. We step in there, we can look and see that everybody's been peppered in there, and a lot of stuff is sitting there all the way up to 35, and we still keep on going and have the nulls sitting in there. So that's all there. But we're now sitting at this point, hit F11, and number elements is now X. It peppers that into the form. It goes ahead and puts this down. Now it's going to do the test. If my guy is 99 is equal to end of file, and we know it is, it will say file processed successfully, and then it'll go on out. And we get the message here. It continues on. It skips the catch because we don't need it. We didn't error out at all, and comes up with our program right there. We can go through the fill, which is not under breakpoint, so I can just go through. Is it? Maybe it is. Yeah, we can certainly do an F5 and continue on it. There it is, and it fills it. And there's all our stuff there, along with the end of file sitting on the bin. So a little confusing. A few pieces to take a look at as you're going through this, but think of the bounds. Think of the area that you're going to be looking at when you actually work with this program, or any program that has an array. You always want to test. You want to test the maximum that you're getting in, so X is not going over that. You're also going to check the end of streams to find out the file ended or not. So one of these things is going to cause the error. The try catch is going to help you because it will tell you whether or not you exceeded the bounds of the array, or it'll tell you if end of stream could fail for some reason or something happened to your file. So that'll handle all those particular things. What it doesn't tell you is if the file process goes successfully, if you have everything in there, and that's where you can do a check based on the items you have here. You don't have to use the 99 thing. You can use you can just check to see if there's some data in there and fill. How far did it fill? You can do a count, all kinds of things to make it work. But that's how you might do some debugging when you work with arrays and files. That's how you bulletproof it so it doesn't crash. You want error messages to pop up for the user if something goes wrong, not a crash where everything breaks. That's it. One of the interesting things with this video was that even when the program was working correctly, catching any errors, it was still important to let the user know what was going on. When the array was 25 in length but the file was 36 long, our checks stopped the program from blowing up, but we still had to let the user know that there was a problem. The array wasn't big enough to hold all the data. We'll get more practice with these concepts in a lot of upcoming videos. There's a lot to look at in arrays, and we'll cover it all. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to use the website for easy access to all my videos. If you get a chance, please subscribe. That way, you'll be notified when something new is available. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.